he took his hat off and he said, I'm just like you now. You can tell me what happened. And he put his hat back on and he said, you're not just going to go to prison if you tell anybody what happened to the USS Liberty. You are going to be killed. Is that understood? And I've since, most of them are dead. I've had the Admiral, well, he was the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I've had the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the time on, out of a heart attack a few months after I had him on. I'm sure of natural causes, though. He's so old. I had the first mate on. I've had, McGonagall, the captain on. Can't get a better captain name than that, McGonagall. It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel or something, you know, out of an old Horatio Hornblower or something, or Patrick O'Brien novel. Point is that they call them all in, and I mean, I've had the Judge Advocate General on who saw the secret testimony, all of it, how they knew the ship was being attacked, to be sunk, to be blamed on Egypt, to start a big war as a false flag, and the jets had launched, and the admirals were ordered, you turn them back, we want that ship going to the bottom, and LBJ got on the radio because the admirals on the ships, was a whole group of aircraft carriers and ships out there, said, we're not going to follow that order. They told McNamara no, so McNamara put the president on the line. You know, the telephone hooked into the radio and said, listen, I want that ship going to the GD bottom. And I've had the officers on who heard that. And those planes turned around and landed. But by God's good graces, the most decorated ship in U.S. history didn't go to the bottom. That's who runs America, okay? The New World Order. And they'll blow up and sink ships. They'll nerve gas our own troops. They'll kidnap little kids and roast them. And you're going to sit there and take it, aren't you? What's happened is our society has become a bunch of spectators. Everybody knows that. We've just turned loose at things and say, oh, the good guys will handle things. And the most vicious, ruthless scum you can imagine has gotten control of every level. So they're openly announcing, yeah, we're going to secretly disappear you. Yeah, we're going to kill you. Yeah, we're getting rid of states' rights. I saw an article over the weekend. In fact, I forgot to print it, guys. Feds criticized 14 states for refusing to disband state guards. Or feds call for disbanding of state guards. They don't even want the states to have a ragtag force of volunteers who are in the National Guard or the regular military. They're so threatened, even by the states having tiny military, because the federal government doesn't exist. It's been taken over by foreign banks. It's that simple. Here's a headline: Mexican judge holds more generals in drug probe. Reuters. That's what should be happening here, but it should be bankers held in drug probe. They publicly launder the drug money. I had 2 cops behind me this morning coming to work. And they weren't tailing me, harassing me. We've got too many police. And all they're out doing is patrolling and writing tickets while real crime rages around us. I'm sick of it. The police are so paranoid every time you run into them now. And again, they're paranoid about things that aren't a threat. Instead of realizing, you know what, I'm ranting. Let's go to your phone calls. Bob in Missouri, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex, first-time caller, long-time website follower, been listening to the program for about the last year and a half, Prisonplanet TV member. Thomas Paine, the duty of a patriot is to protect his country from its government. There's a T-shirt idea for you right there, brother. Another T-shirt idea, splattered on the front, a big picture of you with just the word Morpheus on it. That's from The Matrix, of course, you know that. Let's talk about these haters on these other networks that are talking trash on you all the time. They got their little 3 listeners, and then they want to pick apart you, who woke me up to the idea of synthetic terror, false flag. So, you know, all the haters out there, and then all the punks in the FBI, CIA, NSA listening, I say, how can you all commit treason on such a mass scale? Doesn't that baffle you, how so many people in government at one time can commit treason on a mass scale, threaten people to be killed if they speak up about what they saw in Oklahoma City, 9/11, USS Liberty, or whatever you want to talk about?
No, I've interviewed the eyewitnesses that saw the feds by name planting the bombs. I've interviewed the admirals and people that, yes, the government of Israel tried to sink the USS Liberty and was working with Lyndon Baines Johnson as a pretext to launch a larger war. I've interviewed the witnesses, the police officers that heard the countdown to blow up Building 7, and I have the newscast where they said, get back, they're going to blow it up, and I heard them say they blew it up on the news. And I have the videos of that. I mean, it's there. We have a criminal group running things, and the only reason I'm not dead is because of your prayers and because of the fact that I'm a public figure. But they still may do something to me. But that's just the way it is. But look, I appreciate your call. I don't have time to even read the entire article that was in Politico that quotes yours truly multiple times and plugs our website. I mean, I read the first 2 quotes and then quit reading. So if I'm not going to read, I'll be honest with you, I barely even tune in when I'm on things like Nightline. I'm told I'm in Rolling Stone magazine again. I haven't even gone out and bought a copy. So I'm so busy, I guess, with target narcosis, they call it. That's where somebody's flying in World War II, a fighter jet, a fighter plane, not fighter jet. I guess the Germans did have jets, but we didn't. Flying in over a train or something, strafing it, and you get so focused on the target, you fly into it. I mean, I am so focused going straight forward against the New World Order that I don't pay attention to trolls. I don't pay attention to so-called networks, because I know there are some things that do audio streams out there, with a couple hundred listeners. I wish it was more, whose whole world is talking trash about me, because occasionally I've accidentally run into it. And other than entertainment value, it's painful and sad, not that I'm attacked or that everybody spends their time doing that, but that they're probably not government agents. It's purely out of jealousy and envy of what? That I work so hard, that I was working last night and I'll be working tonight at 10 o'clock, and that I'm so dedicated and that I have courage to go to Bilderberg. I have courage because I know there's no future. We're fighting for the future here if we don't beat these globalists. So don't even worry about the attacks. Ignore it. It's a sign of success.
We're on the march. The Empire.
If you let the system know that you will not be treaded upon, then you will be a free man. There is liberty when the government fears the people. There is tyranny when the people fear the government. We are under a premeditated scientific tyranny that the globalists intend to ratchet up to the maximum point, including mega death worldwide, 80 to 90% of us exterminated. That is the public Rockefeller Foundation plan. We have new articles today with the Rockefeller Foundation stuff coming out. I mean, it is so horrific, though. Most people will just choose to go along with the program and incrementally watch their friends and family die of cancer around them. Neurological disorders, you name it. As for me, give me liberty or give me death. And because we've been here for all these years, laying out the secret arrest, the federalization plans, how stage terror would be used as a pretext to take over society, how they would have surveillance equipment and all the light posts. I said that in Police State 2000, 1999. Because we had the globalist plans, now it's all happening. There are a lot of people waking up. But just because a lot of sheeple want to go along with it, look, if 99% of people wanted to make the other 1% slaves, they couldn't do it in a republic. In a pure democracy, they could. That's 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. What do you think is going to be on the dinner menu? And I know that these are basic truths everybody knows, but we've got to rediscover them and then get them out to other people. But it's over 30% are very upset and now know about the New World Order conservatively. Most of those people are hardcore now. We've got much bigger numbers than our founders had. So quit thinking that just because everybody isn't awake or a lot of people don't care that we've got to go along with this. The globalists are scared, and they have overreached. Okay, let's go back to your calls. Daniel in Michigan. Daniel, you're on the air.
Yeah, hello, Colonel Jones. Hello, this is Daniel. Yeah, I was wondering, I'm not the type of person to show up at, like, the Build a Cheese Sandwich group or whatever, because,
I'm sorry, I don't understand you, bro. I don't speak German. I know a few German words, and I just don't understand you. Sorry, I appreciate your call. I just don't understand you. We don't screen calls, but I'm not going to play games with people. I'm sorry. Jesse in Louisiana, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Good.
I just want to call out to all the military. I'm ex-military, and with all the things that have been coming out with the internment camp documents and all of their plans and blueprints that you've very clearly laid out for us to see, anybody who's been deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq has already seen these things happen. And if they just looked at it from an objective standpoint and not from the tunnel vision that they were programmed to see it in, they would see it. And one of the things that really has me scared the most right now is the fact that when we went into Afghanistan and Iraq, the first thing that happened was the banks were shut down for those countries. There was no incremental weaning off. There was no recession or inflation. They just shut down. And all of the people suffered because of it. And the news has yet to cover anything regarding that.
Well, the people controlling our society will knowingly take 2-year-olds that cry for mommy and put them on 7 hardcore psychotropics, in many cases killing them. They will take troops and put them in chambers, U.S. military, and nerve gas you to death. So, of course, the sky's the limit. And everything with police, the military, business, it's peer pressure. They get you in, they say, we're patriotic, we're the good guys. It's all about conforming. It's all about doing what you're told to go up the ladder. Well, if that ladder leads into a wood chipper, you don't want to conform. You don't want to be trusting. And we do not have our government anymore. We have a spider hole. And at the bottom of it is a human wrecking system. And I totally agree with you. Now they've got MSNBC and CNBC saying, oh, Europe might collapse and have bank runs, and they're already beginning in other areas. This is all by design. I said, the euro will implode Europe. They will gobble the countries up in this order, always claiming more bailouts, more money to the banks to fix the next country that's falling, and then it will move to the United States. This is a programmed plan. And the only way it's going to stop, because they could turn the economy on right now. People have desire. They have ingenuity. People want to work hard. The social engineers, the Rockefellers and others brag. Their problem is there's too much prosperity. They want to, quote, shut down the economy, or the economy's overheating. You always hear that. They want to keep you in debt. So anytime the system wanted to, they could turn things back on. But they don't want to, because they want to consolidate to have full control. It's about control. And the only way to turn this around is to identify the globalist. Because if they know they're going to get the blame, and not Sarkozy or not Merkel or not Obama, not the puppets, they will be forced to back off. That's why I'm going to protest the actual rulers of the globe at Bilderberg, and everybody needs to be there. Why do you think they lock down cities and have martial law? Even the London Guardian calls it martial law in Chicago. For just some NATO people meeting, when there's no reason to lock down half the city, they could just lock down a few blocks. It's an exercise of power. Why don't they do that for Bilderberg? Why are the police so nice at every Bilderberg event I've been to once you get past flying into the country? Because they don't want an incident. This year is going to be different, though, my friend, because there's so much attention. The alternative media is powerful enough now that now they're having to admit it exists, because they're going to probably have the big numbers of police out there, which is fine, because this is going to end up generating massive attention. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And I actually work for the company that's hosting the Palm Tree Conference in Chantilly.
I think it was Lockheed Martin. I think it was Lockheed Martin last time that uses the front. Is it Lockheed Martin?
No, I mean, I'm with the hotel chain.
Oh, you're with the hotel chain.
Yes. And, I mean, I know that place is completely booked, despite what they told you on the phone, the first time anyway.